Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. We're talking about Jack and Lilly Sullivan, who vanished from their Pictou County, Nova Scotia home, and particularly the mom's boyfriend, also known as the stepfather, even though he really isn't the stepfather. We're going to be talking about him as well and all of the inconsistencies that he strews around the internet. A lot to talk about on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much.
Technical difficulty.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Well, I cannot see myself. One. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube, have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is January 3rd, 2026. It is currently 9:33 p.m. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, everyone is well, my friends. Good to see all of you in here. One second. I had a little glitch I have to work out here. Um, Today we are talking about Jack and Lily Sullivan, who vanished from their Pictou County, Nova Scotia home on May 2nd, 2025. Recently, the RCMP did an update that they said that they are very confident that they will get a resolution in Jack and Lily Sullivan's case. And that's something that we've really, I think, needed to hear, that they're still going hard and that they do believe that they are going to get a resolution. Now, I believe since I've been on this case, literally since the day they went missing, um, it's kind of went in waves. But for the majority of this case, I want to say that most people feels that it's not right. Something is wrong. That Jack and Lily simply didn't just walk out on their own. However, still yet today, we have no idea where Jack and Lily is or what happened. Most of us, I would say, our opinions are something not good happened in that home. And if you look at retired RCMP and all of that, they say that they believe that there's some foul play here, that there's some foul play. So we're going to get into some of that. Yes, Deception Detective did do a little video earlier. We'll look at that. Our friend Deception Detective, guys, make sure you sub up to Deception Detective. In my opinion, one of the best statement analysis here on YouTube. Great person. He's not afraid to say his opinion, which I really appreciate because I feel like there's some on this platform now that they are scared to say their opinion on certain things because of perhaps maybe sponsors or things like that. But we'll look at that here shortly. Let me say hello to a few of my beautiful pearls up in here. Good to see you, Miss Mally. Good to see you, my friend Sherry. Good to see you, Teresa. Good to see you. There's Susie to the Q, Canada. And we got Susan, Madagascar. Thank you so much, my dear Teresa. Carol. Good to see you, my friend. Interactive. There's Tammy, and there is our Joyous coming in clutch, girl. Tina, how are you, darling? Good to see you. Who else do we got? Miss Peggy, Debbie, good to see you. Shelby, there's Callie. How you doing, girl? Appreciate you. Special K, Lori, Kelly, Anna to the banana. Andrea, good to see you, my dear. Appreciate you. Miss Linda B. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining. Hopefully, your New Year's is starting out good. Hey there, Miss Dolores. Good to see you, darling. Thank you so much for your support. Really do appreciate that, my dear. Thank you, CJ. Good to see you. Hey, Maurice. Good to see you, dear. Days of love, my days of love. I need you. Oh, how I need you. Thank you so much, Daisy Love. Come in and clutch at 17 months. How you doing, girl? Appreciate you very much. Um, yeah, Deception, he's not afraid to say his opinions. And him, of course, Peter Hyatt, was a huge fan of. He was kind of a mentor to me. He really helped me a lot with cases and stuff. We would email back and forth. Of course, there is Pat Brown and Steve Johnson. Those are my go-tos. Hey, Brandy and Indy, Miss Justice, good to see you. Carol, Wild Angel to the Roxy, 19 months, girl. I'm an OG. Yes, you are, girl. Love you so much, Roxy, and appreciate you very, very much, my dear. Good to see you. All right. Let me drop Mr. Deception Detective's link in my description here. Guys, after this, we are going to go live on the Columbus dentist. Him and his wife were tragically unalived in their homes. And it's a very, very interesting case. Bear with me one second. Deception Detective. All right, guys, link is provided in the description for you guys. Go over there and give him support. Watch his videos, watch his live streams. Become a member if you can. He would greatly appreciate that as well. I call him the Big DD. The Big DD. Here you go. I'm going to drop it in the chat as well. Mods, drop that periodically if you don't mind. Greatly appreciate that. Okay. Here we go. Let's drop this. Then we're going to get onto some more things here. Okay. There we go. Deception Detective. Yeah, he is great. Anything updated on what happened to little Jonathan? Nothing. It's pretty quiet on little Jonathan's case right now. I've thought about it so much. Yeah, not a lot. But I'm sure in the days and weeks to come, there will be more that comes out. And what's going to happen with Dad? Are they going to add any more charges? Did he simply walk off? Should the dad have been, I don't know. But I do think, in my opinion, at least where he had the explosives everywhere, that delayed them looking for him, in my opinion. So there's that. I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys, hit that thumbs up. Would greatly appreciate that. And
I woke up when
become a member if you would like to. Would love to have you on the Pearl team. Okay, Jonathan Autopsy will hopefully show something. Yeah. And guys, that dog, oh my God, that dog, bless that dog. The thing about it is, like I said, Jonathan and his brother were only there, 5 days a year? And that being said, the dog didn't really know him. Dog didn't really know him at all. And so, but the dog stayed with him. Dog stayed with him. Man's best friend. And I would like to think that the dog was some comfort for little Jonathan. So loyal, Ruby. In fact, in my opinion, the dog was a lot more loyal than his father. Thank you so much, Sandy. Appreciate that. Okay, guys. So make sure you sub up to our friend Deception Detective, the Big DD, as we say it here. All of that. Okay, guys. So let's get it started. Oh, Daniel. Where is old Daniel? Old Daniel. All right, guys, here we go. Let's go.
When Malehya woke me up, I'm pretty sure it was her who woke me up because we both kind of like woke up at the same time. And I remember her saying, as it says in the documents, she said, I don't hear them.
Now, like I've always said right there, Daniel says, like, he'll give you 3 different separate answers for what should be one answer, right? She woke me up. I woke her up. I think we woke up at the same time. Didn't his dog go missing before? Well, we don't know exactly when the dog went missing. Carla, the neighbor said that they didn't see the dog since the 26th. Yeah, 3 minimum. Yes, exactly.
But the craziest thing was when I woke up, it was in the first 5 seconds that she said, I don't hear them. And usually
That's bullshit.
You would have to wait a couple you know what I mean? Or like 30 seconds or something like that, because it could be in the fridge, because that's usually what everything goes quiet when they're, grabbing food.
That's Daniel Martell, and I think he knows what happened.
You're not, listen, when you wake up in the first 5 seconds, you're not thinking about shit. You're not thinking about nothing, Daniel. Save your BS. Nobody is thinking about that in the first 5 seconds. It's going to take you 30 seconds minimum to even, you're going to listen. You're going to listen for your children, what they're doing in the house, for at least a minute, probably. I don't see these individuals as the most caring parents in the world, and them being like jumping up out of bed as soon as they don't hear something, whenever they don't even check on them during the night. You don't check on them that morning. Now, I can tell you this. If you're a woman who's ever bared children, you get up a lot during the night. And if you're a guy over 35, you get up a lot during the night as well. Right? How many of us get up at night 11 times to go tinkle? I sure do. I get aggravated, actually. So you have to walk by their bedroom how many times a night? You don't just peek your head in there. I still check on my kids umpteen times a night. You go in there, you look at them. You check their breathing, because you're a parent. It's always on your mind. Nothing's wrong, but you still check. I know I do. So this just doesn't make sense. And Malehya has told people that she woke up and then that Daniel was in the bathroom doing his mathematics. There was also a fight that evening. Wasn't there, Daniel? Wasn't there, Malehya? Oh my goodness, Joyous. Thank you so much, honey. I missed that. I apologize. Thank you so much, my dear. Really do appreciate your moment. Thank you for gifting 10 pearl necklaces. Really, really do appreciate you, my dear. If you received one of those pearl necklaces, make sure you give a girl Joyous a big, big thank you. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Joyous. Appreciate you both so very much. MBM ear was bloody. It looked like something happened. Looked like something happened. And when she said he would hold me down and take my phone and stuff like that, she's not telling us at all. She's not telling us all of it. Let's be real. There's our deception detective. Let's see here.
Happened to his missing stepchildren. And it's not just because that answer literally made zero sense. So in today's video, let's watch his interview with the Drunk Turkey Show and count all the lies. I'm Deception Detective, an attorney trained in statement analysis. This channel exposes lies and manipulation. So if that's your thing, hit subscribe. For early access to new videos, over 60 exclusive videos, and other cool perks, consider becoming a channel member. Link in description. As I mentioned, Daniel's answer about how he recognized his stepkids were missing doesn't make any sense. And that's because if Malehya was awake before him, there's no way he could have known how long she'd been listening out for the children. And that's not even close to the biggest problem with this interview. In fact, it's not even the...
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. If Malehya was like listening out for the children, he doesn't know how long she was listening for the kids, right? And it doesn't make sense to both just jump up. One of you might jump up and go listen for the kids, but first, you know, you might yell through the house, Jack, Lily, are you all right? But if not, you're both not going to jump up and just be suspicious when you haven't checked on them all night. You're not going to be this doting, parent when you haven't checked on them all night. Very similar to Summer Wells' case. You have Candace Wells saying that she walked Summer from grandma's camper to the front door. Okay. Even the most helicopter parents wouldn't do that because it's like 30 feet and you can see her get in the house. So they want you to think that, oh my God, we are these concerned parents, whenever their actions before they become these concerned parents up until what they call the incident doesn't show that. It doesn't show that they're these doting, concerned helicopter parents at all. Lily had a cough. There's nothing about giving her medicine or anything. In fact, the day before, they drove all over town and did whatever they did. Lily had a black eye, right? Certain bruising can cause even blood clots.
Biggest problem with that answer, because in an earlier interview, he said the exact opposite. I'll play you that clip in a moment because who woke up first isn't even the only contradiction in that part of the story. So without further ado, let's pick up where we left off.
So she wakes up, you wake up. What's the first thing that you do?
First thing I do when I wake up is, Malehya's right beside me, and she says, "You hear the kids?" And then I listen for a few seconds. I said, "No, I don't hear them." So first thing I do is when I don't hear them,
why does this change when whoever Daniel is speaking to? Some interviews, it's, I woke Malehya up. Sometimes it's Malehya woke me up. Sometimes it's we woke up at the same time. And some interviews, it's all three. That's the question, right? These things don't change. And it is something, and I don't give a wooden nickel what anyone says. You're going to remember this day more than any other day in your life. It scars you. There's trauma. Remember, the same day. Okay, forget about last night, right? Forget about the night before right now. This is the day that they say Jack and Lily vanished, right? Daniel, Malehya, tell us what happened this morning. What happened this morning when you say you didn't hear Jack and Lily? You can't remember the morning? You're like, they're interviewing you the same day that Jack and Lily go missing. You're telling them what happened. And you can't remember a couple hours ago?
I get up and I, get dressed, and me and her make our way out to the kitchen. And this thing I still find odd to this day. I told investigators this is Malehya didn't look in Jack and Lily's room when we went up, when we walked to the kitchen, right?
Hold on, what does he say there? I need to remember that.
Me and her make our way out to the kitchen. And this thing I still find odd to this day. I told investigators this is Malehya didn't look in Jack and Lily's room when we went up, when we walked to the kitchen, right?
Okay.
So I found that odd because we both walked up together up the hallway to the kitchen. And then I poked my head I looked into the living room, didn't see the kids. I ran back to the room, looked underneath the beds and stuff, didn't see them. So then we made our way outside.
So he thinks it's odd that Malehya didn't look in the bedroom when they got up. And yeah, that would be odd. That would be odd. Unless you knew that they were already gone. They were already taken out during the nighttime. I know, and it's a bad one, isn't it, Brandy? They might have acted this out for perhaps even Janie. To make Janie even, but I still think Janie would have to know that there's this loud ass car going in and out of the house all through the night. Not only because their walls are paper thin, but Janie has a dog and they keep an eye on everything. Hey, Jackie B, good to see you, honey.
Right? Malehya stood in the kitchen when I was running like a moron through the house looking for the kids.
It's amazing how he says he is a moron. I mean, I do agree with that. But I don't agree that you're a moron for looking for your stepchildren. Why would you be a moron for truly, intentionally looking for your stepchildren? I ran through the house looking like a moron. That's exactly why, Faye. Because it never happened. None of this morning happened. And that's why, particularly the morning part, you can shred it. You can absolutely shred this alibi. Right? Now, and the night before, right? He can't remember. He can't remember that. Convenient. Very convenient.
And we made our way outside. You know, we got through the fence, and then we're standing right in front of Mom's RV. And
Hold on, what?
And we made our way outside. You know, we got through the fence.
We got through the fence. That's interesting.
And then we're standing right in front of Mom's RV, and she asked me, should I call 911?
All right, let's pause here and recap. Daniel said that Malehya woke up.
Okay, so I can't remember what he says in this interview, but the other interview, he says, hold on 1 second before you call 911. I think in this one, if I recall correctly, he says, yeah, you obviously your kids are missing. Right. And then he uses Malehya's words. He borrows Malehya's words and says it was just instinctual. Right? Just instinctual. Seems like he's, trying to copy some of Malehya's answers, if you ask me. Now, he's got text messages of him saying things like, well, of course you should call 911. Duh, it's your kids. But in other interviews, he says, just hold on a minute. Let me go up here at the cabins and look.
First asked him if he hears the kids. He said he doesn't. Then they both went around the house looking for them. Then they both went outside together, and she asked him if she should call 911. In a moment, we'll watch him give a CBC interview where he contradicts all of that. But before we do, I just want to quickly recap my 3 tiers of inconsistencies. The lowest tier is subjective, and that's really just an opinion.
Yeah, I know that, SD, as well. He says he was looking, he was running around in the trailer and the woods looking like a moron, because this is when he blames Malehya, because he's like, well, because Malehya knew they were never in the woods. Oh yes, I assure you 100% Daniel is watching. Y'all can wave to him in the chat if you would like.
Opinion, like when someone says, well, I wouldn't have done that if I were him, so he must be lying. Frankly, it doesn't tell us much, but it's the one I see most often online. The middle tier is a statistical inconsistency, and that's when someone's alleged actions don't line up with what people typically do in that situation, according to research. It's not ironclad proof that they're lying, but it's at least objective. And then there's the gold standard, internal inconsistency, and that's when a person's own words and actions contradict each other. So it's not a matter of if they're lying, it's a matter of when. All right, now that I explained that, listen to this.
When I woke up, Malehya was right beside me. She was still asleep. And I said, I don't hear Lily and Jack.
There you go. There you go. Big inconsistency, isn't it? Because in the other interview, Mr. Martell was saying Malehya woke him up. Malehya woke him up. And, the critics can say things like, well, it doesn't really matter who woke who up. And to them, I say, bullshit. It does matter. It absolutely does matter. Because the truth is always the truth. There should always be the truth in what happened. If you woke him up, he woke you up, you woke up at the same time, matters. And remember, this was the same day Jack and Lily vanished, and you told the RCMP. Did he wash his hair? He hasn't washed his hair or his ass since 1976.
The time, no one will say for sure, but police say it was around 10 a.m. when they got it.
Listen to there. The time, nobody will say for sure. People who are lying to you don't like to give you a time. Why? Because it locks them in. It locks them in. The time, nobody will say for sure. But remember, in the beginning, they told Jack and Lily has been missing since around 8 or 8:30. Right? So there's that. Oh my goodness, pugs have glitter. Thank you, baby. Appreciate you very, very much. I apologize. I'm yapping my mouth here. Thank you so much, honey. Good to see you. You have a fawn pug? I am so jealous. I am so jealous. I just without the black mask. Wow. My little Jaja, she's fawn with the black mask. So cute. Thank you so much, honey. Appreciate you. And Miss Charmin, thank you so much, my dear. Coming in clutch at, if I can see, 3 months. Thank you so much, love. Appreciate you. Who you doing, girl? Thank you thank you so much, honey, for the super sticker. Very kind of you, my love. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Very, very kind of you, my dear. Really do appreciate you. I would love a puppy. Who's got, you got puppies now? My Jaja had puppies about 5 or 6 years ago. I can show you pictures sometimes. Oh my God, they're so cute. Mr. Protus, I do believe there will be charges in this case. I do. Eventually. Eventually, yeah. I do.
A 911 call.
I ran up in the woods to the kids. They have cabins up in the woods, which only took me like 30 seconds. I came right back down. She was on the phone with the RCMP.
In this version of events, it's Daniel who woke up first and told Malehya he doesn't hear the kids. And they didn't search the house together. Instead, he immediately ran outside while she stayed behind, and he came back to find her calling 911. So they weren't outside together where she asked him if she should call. But I'm going to continue.
And again, just like Deception Detective just stated, whole different circumstances here. In this one, Daniel just runs immediately outside and then goes up to the have cabins, and he says he comes back down and she was on the phone with 911. But in others interviews, he says, hold on, Malehya, wait for that 911 call.
Continue playing that clip because in that video I made analyzing that interview, Daniel already contradicted Malehya's version of events. So we don't just have intrapersonal contradictions between Daniel's version of events, we have interpersonal contradictions between Daniel and Malehya. Listen to this. There are a ton of problems with this story, so let's go through them one by one. First, as I already pointed out, it directly contradicts Malehya's version of events, which is typical of co-conspirators reciting a scripted story. The made-up stuff just doesn't stick as well in the brain as a real memory.
Absolutely.
Second,
absolutely. If you've never lived it, right? If you have never lived and you're telling a lie, there's nothing to stick in your brain because it never happened. It never happened, right? And that's why people really screw up when they're trying to tell things that never, ever happened. It doesn't stick. So he's absolutely right.
Extremely vague, especially when it comes down to the timing of everything. For instance, he said that Lily came into the room multiple times, and then suddenly he's saying 20 minutes later he woke up. He woke up 20 minutes after what exactly? Third, the story just isn't reasonable, which is one of the criteria from the Assessing Stories card in my deception deck, my 52 favorite rules for spotting lies and manipulation. If his story is true, Malehya called the police before they'd even checked the backyard to see if the kids were out there. Remember, he said that they noticed the kids were being quiet. He immediately went outside for 30 seconds, and when he came back, she was already calling the police. Finally, the tone of the story itself is off, another criteria from my Assessing Stories card. And by that,
Which was the interview? I can't remember where he said, hang on one second. Was it his first sit down interview? He says, hang on one second. I can't remember.
I mean, Daniel's main objective here is to alibi Malehya. He made a point of telling us that he wasn't totally asleep and that she was definitely sleeping next to him when he woke up and she couldn't have crept off. But if his story is true, he can't be 100% sure about that. And what about these contradictions? Is he not concerned that her story doesn't match his? There's obviously...
That's exactly right. So if you're asleep, you don't know what's happening. You have no idea what's happening. So you can think and feel pretty sure in your heart that your husband or wife would never do something like that. But if they are telling a different version than you are, and you lived it, that's going to set off a lot of red flags. If you're asleep, you have no idea what someone in your home or around you is doing. So the fact that Daniel and Malehya are having two different versions should set red flags for especially the one that may be telling the truth. In this instance, I don't think either one of them are telling the truth because I don't believe any of it happened that morning.
Plenty more in that video, and I'll link it on the end card if you want to continue comparing that interview to this one. But for now, let's continue with this drunk turkey interview because the worst is yet to come.
So when you're running around and as you're going outside and you're looking, that gate outside, is it always open? Was it unlocked? Was it locked?
Sometimes it's open.
Was it open that morning?
I do not remember that. I don't remember if I don't remember.
Okay. And so you come
It's
around.
not hard. It's not hard to open up gates anyway. They're just slide. Like I always forget to close my mouth.
I don't even think a gate was there that morning, was there? I mean, the fence there was like two dismantled fences. Wasn't there? From what I understand. If I remember it correctly. Right, okay. Yeah, exactly, Joyce. Exactly. I can't remember. Well, of course you can't remember because it didn't happen.
I'm always reminds me, but they're just a slide and bolt lock, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing hard about those locks at all.
Well, maybe not, but I'm just kind of curious because if you can unlock it and open it, but if you're on the other side of the fence and you're small, can you reclose?
Very good point.
You can.
Very good point. Allison says, Justin, this but about the gates. They're so hyper vigilant, yet the gates can easily be opened. Right? This gate, these very concerned parents that they say Daniel said that Jack got out when they lived with Malehya's grandmother at one point, which I've not yet seen proof of. But if a child has gotten out before at another house, you would think having 3 children under the ages of 6 years old, you would have a lot of safety measures in place, right? At least like a chain above the doors, that kind of thing. locks for the sliding doors, you know, a stick in it or whatever you wanted, you know, different reasons, right? Or different measurements in place. But these two didn't give a wooden nickel about anything other than their own selves and their own habits. 3 sections of the fence missing, no gate. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've got a picture of what it looked like that morning, and it's just ridiculous that anyone believes this man. It's just ridiculous. You can't even get your story straight about after you say they go missing, let alone before or during.
Okay, all you do is just pull the fence close to you and then close it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so it may not be a clue there. So you're out there searching in the woods. How long before law enforcement arrived?
I was told 12 minutes.
Okay.
But then when I looked at the documentation and, you know, asked questions and dug further, it was 22 minutes, I do believe.
And were you at the
Yes,
house
Janie
when they
did.
arrived?
I was actually when they were arriving, I was actually coming back to the house in the car, and I couldn't park in the driveway because RCMP just stopped in the yard, right?
Okay.
Because they were just starting to walk down and talk to Malehya. So what I did is I parked the white Nissan Pathfinder.
There he really fucks up right there. Justin, do you think the errands of being seen in town was to establish an alibi? I don't. Nope. I don't think so. I think they were just doing their usual stuff, and I think it was at the end of the relationship. And in my opinion, Malehya called her mother around the time they were arriving back at the house that day. The grandmother sees the kids and all of that. Daniel supposedly outside working on this fence with his mother till he says about 8 o'clock. And then he goes in and he says he can't remember if Jack or Lily was sleeping or anything. I believe there was. I believe, in my opinion, Daniel snapped that evening. Absolutely, in my opinion. And Lily had a black eye. I believe that's why she didn't go to school those days, because I think Daniel has about the self-control of a 22-week-old fetus in the womb. And no matter how much he might think or whatever, he always gives in to his anger, and he has zero self-control whatsoever. Sharon's comment. Play that back. Did you hear Daniel just say he, when they was alive? I did.
Before law enforcement arrived?
I was told 12 minutes.
Okay.
But then when I looked at the documentation and, you know, asked questions and dug further, it was 22 minutes, I do believe.
And were you at the house when they arrived?
I was actually when they were arriving, I was actually coming.
When they arrived is what he said. When they arrived.
Back to the house in the car, and I couldn't park in the driveway because RCMP just stopped in the yard, right?
Okay.
Because they were just starting to walk down and talk to Malehya. So what I did is I parked the white Nissan Pathfinder, because that's the car Malehya owns, the 2007.
Yes, that's the white Nissan 2017 2-key 4-wheel Nissan Pathfinder, 4-speed transmission, 2.0, 3-liter, 4 windows, 1 hood Nissan Pathfinder. Even though you absolutely screwed it up. The blue. And he catches himself. Jody Clark coming in clutch, girl. How you doing, ma'am? Thank you so much for your support, my dear. Hello, Justin on the phone. Thank you so much, Miss Jody. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Come on out and speak to us. The water's fine. I promise. We'd love to have your comments in here and hear what you have to say. Every one of you adds something, and we're all different minded here, and we all come from different experiences and all of that. And we'd love to hear your comments on that. So come on out. There was no gate until after the kids disappeared.
17 Nissan white Pathfinder.
The
And
white
I parked
Pathfinder.
over on the right-hand side of the marsh. So, I mean,
Just
they
watch
were
him.
there. And I couldn't park in the driveway because RCMP just stopped in the yard, right?
Okay.
Because they were just starting to walk down and talk to Malehya. So what I did is I parked the white
Nissan Pathfinder, the black or the blue. Which one is it, Danny? I think it's the black. Watch his eyes closed. Oh, gotta fix that mother chicken.
Nissan Pathfinder, because that's the car Malehya owns.
There's his lizard lips. Because that's the car Malehya owns. Like, thank you, Daniel. We did not know that. Because that's the car Malehya owns, y'all. The 2 keys, because there's 2 keys by the bed. I knew there was something to that when he said that. Sometimes you can know they say something for a reason. We may not know it now, but it's for them to get ahead of something. Maybe it's for, the police know something and they just tuck it there nice and neat. Right? But now we know why he talks about those 2 keys. Because it's Malehya's car, right?
I parked the white Nissan Pathfinder, because that's the car Malehya owns, the 2017 Nissan white Pathfinder.
I'll never get over that part. I will never get over it. The white, the Nissan Pathfinder, because that's the one Malehya owns. You having a seizure, Daniel? Get it together. Crap. The math ain't hitting right today.
And I parked over on the right-hand side of the marsh, going toward Lansdowne Road. There's a marsh that's right beside the house there. Probably can pull that up on the map. There's a little driveway that's right beside it. It's about 100 feet from the house.
Okay. Around here?
Yeah, that's actually the marsh. And there's a little driveway right on the left-hand side.
Now, I was thinking about that as well. Why are you parking down 100 feet past your home? He says the RCMP goes in, right? Your kids are missing. I would have pulled in the damn yard. I would have went in there on 2 wheels, or I would have pulled by the road. It is a physical way of Daniel wanting to distance himself. It may even be subconscious that he doesn't even realize it. But he is doing that subconsciously, even to separate that vehicle as a measure of separating and security. Too many details for no reason equals Yes, paving the narrative. Too bad it actually equals a million red flags waving. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they've looked in the marsh. I don't think Jack and Lily are in the marsh there or anything. I think that they're close, very close, but I don't think that they are in the search areas. I think they're just right outside of the search areas.
Right there. Yeah. That's why I parked in white Nissan Pathfinder.
One of the best ways to spot a liar
That's where I parked that Nissan Pathfinder. Malehya's Nissan Pathfinder, the white one. Just got insurance on it. She got 2 keys. I got one made, in 2023 when she got that. We signed the title on the 5th day of June 2024. That one. Way too much details. Way too much details. This is the thing. If you're innocent, what do you need to know? And I'll tell you. That's it. What do you need to know? You ask me, I'll tell you. There's nothing to hide. People who have nothing to hide nothing in crime. Just remember that. I say it. It's like the slogan for this channel in true crime. People who have nothing to hide nothing. You want to know where I parked? Fuck, I'll tell you. Okay. But you're going to ask me. Right? Why do I need to know that there's 2 keys beside your bed? Or where you laid your phone down? What?
is simply to pay attention to when they give rich, detailed responses like what car he drove and exactly where he parked, and when they give vague, reticent responses like what time did Daniel wake up? Did he take his cell phone with him?
Preach it,
Who woke up
DD.
first,
Preach it.
him or Malehya? All those things we still don't have a clear answer to, even though they're infinitely more important. And I think the reason those answers are vague and where he parked his car when the police were there is really rich and detailed and certain is because that's the truth and everything else is a lie. Put the vagueness card from my deception deck on your screen if you want to read the full rule, but the gist is liars are vague because they don't want to pin themselves down to facts that can be fact checked because then they could be exposed as liars.
Liars often resort to vagueness in their narratives and tactics driven by the need to evade providing details that can be verified and the challenge of inventing a detailed story. If a story is missing specific names, times, and locations, the preposition such or spinal prepositions such as inside, under, above, around, it could be a sign that it's fabricated. In 2008, Casey Anthony's daughter was reported missing. When described her search efforts, Anthony said, quote, "I checked a couple of stores, just regular places that I know," end quote. The absence of specific store names and the ambiguous nature of checking. Did she go inside or merely look through the windows? Cast doubt of the authenticity of the account. Okay. Right. Like Casey Anthony saying, I checked a couple stores, very casual. Those stores can be, there's a billion stores. Which stores? Right? Person, place, time. Right? Which stores? Where did you check? Right? Where did you check? When did you check? How did you check? Who, what, when, where? They're always liars or deceptors. They're always going to leave it as vague as possible, right? Because they don't want locked in, right? Who, what, when, where, how locks you in. If you're not lying, not a problem. It's only if you're lying. That's it. There's no other reason. Hey, Crazy Buck, coming in Glacier 9 months, girl. How you doing, man? Tennessee just launched the Savannah's Law. Yes, they are the first state in the nation to launch a domestic violence registry. We need this all over. Yes, I was actually going to talk about that, Crazy Buck, and I'm glad you brought that up. I am so glad that they have done this, and I have preached about this since the beginning. And DV is not just a wife or a husband or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, right? Domestic violence is anyone in your home, essentially, anyone. And this needs to happen. I have said this for so many years that this needs to happen because these kids get abused and it needs to be implicated in all 50 states. All 50 states. That way they don't move out of Tennessee and they're no longer on the registry. Right? Like we have a federal sex offender registry, right? All 50 states. Doesn't matter where you go, you got to register. Now, Tennessee just took this up, but it needs to be federally adopted. Federally adopted. Because just like CPS needs to be there needs to be a federal registry of people who have been in CPS. They'll move to a different state. Happened in Don and Candace, Summer Wells's family. They just run to a different state. Right? And this would save countless lives. Countless lives. I can't even tell you.
Or alternatively, they couldn't think of all the things that they're being asked about when they made up their lie in the first place. And I think that's exactly what's going on here, which is why Daniel's so sure about where he parked and all these things that happened after the police got there. But whenever he's asked something before the police presence, he's vague or even completely contradictory. Remember, there's a huge difference between telling the truth and telling a lie, which is why liars mess up so much. The truth is a recollection of something you experienced. So you have touch, taste, sound to rely on. Whereas a lie is simply a recollection of an imagined event. If you're not aware, this is my second video analyzing this interview.
Oh, hold on. Let's hold on. I want to address this. Let's just get this off the table. Justin, I love you and wish you happiness. Thank you. I appreciate that. But please recognize that you're not a woman. It's insulting to see a man carry of what he thinks a woman is. Who the fuck are you? Boo-boo. Listen, Hunty. Take a link. Take a link. I'll show you what a man is. Okay. If I wanted to be a woman, I would be in fucking fierce 6-inch pumps. Boo-boo. Okay? I am Justin. That's who I am. Okay? And you don't like it, scroll, bitch. Scroll. Okay? Thank you for your patronage. I am very happy with my toolbox. If I wasn't, I would take care of that. Okay? Happy with my toolbox, boo-boo. Maybe you should see me with the 5 o'clock shadow. How about that? How about that, bitch?
I want to say something important about interviewing liars, because Drunk Turkey posted a respectful, well-balanced response to that video, but he also said that he believes lots of Daniel's story. Interviewing a liar, which I think Daniel is, actually makes you worse at spotting their lies. It's called the probing heuristic, and it makes sense when you think about it. All the advantages you're getting by interviewing someone, like being able to ask follow-up questions, gauge their responses, influence them, outplay them, go both ways. And a liar wants nothing more than to be believed and liked. But observers like us, we're not being directly charmed or manipulated by the liar. So with all due respect to Drunk Turkey and all the other YouTubers who are talking to the Martell family, they're not the best judges of their truthfulness. We are. And to be clear, this heuristic doesn't just apply to YouTubers. It affects professionals, and it affects you whether or not you're going into it neutral, pro the person you're interviewing, or skeptical.
Exactly,
It really
folks.
doesn't matter. We're not even a third of the way through this interview. I'm going to link Drunk Turkey's channel below if you want to watch all of it. If you want me to do a part 3, let me know by liking, commenting, and sharing. Until next time, stay true.
Okay. It is kind of weird. It is kind of weird. It is kind of weird. Very, very good. Let's give it up for Deception Detective. How you doing, Deception? We love our DD. We love our DD. Good to see you, my dear. Oh no, I don't get bent over shit like that. It's echoing? Oh, it probably was because when I was playing the video. That's probably what it was. Yes, give it up. Give it up for Deception Detective. All right. So moving on here. Oops, that's for the next live. 1 second here. Want to play a little something right here about what Mr. April. Oh, if now I'm angry. People are gross. Here's a little more for makeup. Not much of our Canadian dollars. Scroll, bitch, scroll. Thank you, April. Thank you so much. I've dealt with it my whole life, so it doesn't even mean anything anymore. Thank you so much, my dear. I appreciate you very, very much for your support. I usually don't address trolls, but I just feel a little spicy today. So what the hell? Why not, right? Why not give it to him or her or whatever they choose to call themselves? I don't care. That what you call yourself is no business of mine. So there's that. I'm me. I've always been me. I've been me since I was 11 years old. And it was a lot different, 30 some years ago. But yeah, it is what it is. Okay, let's get with it. It's about Jack and Lily. It's not about me or anything like that. It's not about this whoever this person is. Anyway, moving
charges without the bodies of the children being discovered. No one who's been involved in the investigation is pretending the kids are alive somewhere. They don't seem to believe that theory at all. So they're trying to find the bodies, and until they do, it is difficult for this case to go to that next step.
Now, that's, I believe, the problem, in my opinion. I believe that is that's what's really holding this case back, in my opinion, that they haven't found Jack or Lily. I believe if Jack or Lily were found, an arrest would take place near immediately, pretty much immediately. But we're going to have to wait for that. I know a lot of people talk about, well, what if they're moved? What if they're moved or anything like that? And the thing about it is, most people are not dumb enough to move something that's not been found already, right? Do people move? Yes, they do. They absolutely do. But for someone to move someone, that sets another possibility of getting caught, especially when you're being watched like a hawk already, right? That scene, wherever a person was originally placed, is always going to be there. There's always going to be biological things in the ground, microbes and stuff like that. And then if you move them, well, especially if you're already being watched, that is, you have another chance of being caught. And then if you put them in another place, you have maybe even a better chance. People thinks that another location might help them, not necessarily, because you don't know what Mother Earth gives up, whether that's in water or land, right? Either or, either or. I think he was in waders to do more than fish that day. Did they, LE, search where he fished and posted a photo of from soon after Jack and Lily disappeared. Well, this is the thing. Nobody saw Daniel wet that day. And you can ask Sonny this. You can ask Charmaine this. You can ask myself this. You can ask Daphne this. We've spoken to people who were searching that day, and they will tell you nobody saw Daniel wet whatsoever at all. At all. Oh, thank you, Magdalena. Good to see you, my dear. Thank you so much, honey. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much, baby. If you received one of those pearl necklaces, make sure you give our beautiful Magdalena a big, big thank you. Love your name. Love your name. Really do appreciate you, my dear, very much. Good to see you. And thank you, Miss Dolores. Thank you, baby. We love you very much, Jessa. I love you too, doll. Thank you so much, honey. I appreciate that. Yeah, horse. I would say by violence, if you would ask me. There's Michelle says, Daniel, in my opinion, you know full well what happened to Jack and Lily. I think you put the kids into the water. Nothing else in this case makes sense other than Daniel and Malehya and Grandma know. I absolutely believe Daniel knows. I'm not 100% convinced that specifically Malehya knows where they are. I believe she knows what happened, but I don't believe I'm not saying that I don't believe, but I think she might not know. Did RCMP check Janie's washer and dryer the first day? Well, SD, she's got a little Temu washer. She's got a little Temu washer. And it's just one of those little plastic washers. And it's you take it out after you wash it and you set it beside, and it's got this little spinner that just spins it, and then you hang it up. The washer spinner. Yes. Yes, the washer spinner. That one. The last time I had a pap smear, the doctor needed rubber gloves and an oyster shucker. That one. Mm-hmm. Oyster shucker. Oyster shucker. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Miss Mallory. Good to see you, my dear. Thank you, love. You're very kind. Very, very kind, honey. Thank you so much. Haters always throw shade on what shines. That's right. That's right. Thank you so much, Miss Mallory. Good to see you, baby. Thank you. Appreciate you. Brandy and Indy, just because you are perfectly you. Thank you, honey. I appreciate you very much. Don't know anything else to be. I've tried a long time when I was a lot younger. Can't be anything but myself. Thank you so much, Brandy. Very kind of you, honey. And thank you so much, Alicia. Justin, did they say the dogs hit on the wood burner? No. I don't think it was that they hit on the wood burner, but Daniel spoke about they were asking him questions about the stove in the home. And you think about it, that's a great place to throw things to get rid of them, right? It's a great, if you have clothing or shoes, Daniel, you know, those shoes that you were wearing that night, Daniel, did they go in, I don't know, the stove, Daniel? Because the morning when they showed up, there was smoke coming right out. Smoke coming right out. Thank you, Carla. Appreciate you, darling. Thank you so much, Roxy. Thank you, baby. Appreciate you very much. Very kind, honey. You are simply the best. Thank you, honey. I appreciate you. Very kind of you. Was his shoes muddy? Well, the question is, thank you again, Roxy. Appreciate you, baby. The thing about it is, what happened to those shirts that Daniel was wearing? What happened to those shirts Daniel was wearing? He said Malehya took them, and then he magically found them. Just like Daniel said, what did he say? He said the same thing happened with Jack. I can't remember if it was his backpack or a coat that was by the door. But he said someone would have had to have gotten up there. And he's making it seem like he says he believes Malehya's mother was in the house while they were asleep. Now, can you imagine? It was coat. Thank you, Joyce. Can you imagine Malehya's mother pulling in the driveway that morning and getting out, number one, and passing this camper of Janie's with her dog and getting in the house and the kids not, you know, making a ruckus because they're excited to see their grandmother, and her being in that little trailer while Daniel and Malehya are supposedly sleeping. Come on. Come on, guys. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, honey. Okay.
Saturday of May 3rd, there was an argument at the home between Malehya's family members and some of Daniel's family members.
Now, this is the thing. I have been on this case since May 2nd at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? Within 5 hours, I was on this case of Jack and Lily vanishing. And I was told from jump, that there was 2 fights. 2 fights. And one of them was Thursday night. Thursday night. And the other one was whenever Daniel with the math thingy, I think that was Saturday or Sunday. There was 2 fights. And then Miss Malehya confirmed that by telling someone that she and Daniel were fighting that evening, and that she woke up at around midnight and he was doing the mathematics in the bathroom. Is the mother not attached to her children? Well, do I think Malehya loves her children? Yes, I do think she loves them. I don't think she was a good mother while she was with Daniel. I think Malehya is very immature. I think it's all about her now. She wanted it to be all about her then. But I do believe that when you know what happened to your kid or kids or significant other, your loved one, whoever, I do believe for her, it's pointless to go out here and answer questions and pretend like she's looking for them, pretend like she's this concerned mother whenever she knows what happened. Why would she jeopardize getting herself in trouble if legalities, charges come about later on? Right? Why would she go on the news and answer questions that could potentially harm her down the line? Daniel, on the other hand, if there's ever charges, he fucked himself. I mean, he really did. Because he has said everything. Just complete inconsistencies from jump, whether that is through voicemails, whether it's through Facebook, whether it's through text messages, Facebook messages, interviews that he has done, his ex-girlfriends, all of that. He did that to try to, because he was anxious about what people were thinking. He thought he wanted to control this narrative, when all he actually did was made it look worse. Daniel doesn't think long term, right? Daniel thinks about what is in the right now. I call him like a reptile, because like reptilian minds, they're only interested in what's happening right now. Okay, how can I make myself look best in this interview, not what I said May 3rd, not what I said 2 interviews back. It's only how he can look in this interview, right? And the problem with the people that Daniel has allowed himself to be interviewed with is they don't really ask him about, well, why did you say this on this specific date? whenever you're saying this right now, right? And he knows better. He is manipulatively smart, and that comes from, in my opinion, years of addiction and street smarts, right? You have to be manipulative to live a life like he lives. So he will not go to someone who that's going to really challenge him in an interview, like Deception Detective, like myself, anyone like that. He goes to people that's just going to listen, not challenge him in any form or fashion. So that's why. Happy Cappy, welcome to the Pearl family, my dear. Welcome. Welcome, Happy Cappy, up in here. Thank you, Happy Cappy. So good to see you, my friend. Really, really do appreciate you. Welcome, Happy Cappy. Narcissists are not necessarily smart. That is true. Yes. They just know how to make everyone miserable. Well, it's kind of all about them, and they're intelligent in not necessarily like an IQ way. It's more what we call like street smarts, right? They've lived through it. Carla, Justin, just to let you know, I was watching Shenanigans channel before I came to your channel, and she said that she's going to have a live on Tuesday coming for sure with somebody from the, and then it cuts off. Let me know, Carla, who you mean by that. Thank you. Happy to you, darling. Thank you so much, Kelly. Thank you so much, love. Appreciate you. You received that. One of those pearl necklaces. Make sure you give up for Kelly. A big, big thank you. Thank you so much, honey. Appreciate that very much. Make sure you think of her, Kelly. Love you, darling. Appreciate you. Woman Warrior says his substance misuse, he will have short-term memory loss, in my opinion. He won't remember what he has said and done in periods of high and lows. All the days become blurred into one. Specifically, if they're up for days at a time, they may not remember as much as well. But remember, it don't affect Daniel. None of that stuff affects Daniel. He says, people, it lets the rugs take over them. He's never been affected, he says. Listen, and I promise you, speaking from someone that is nearly 12 years sober, you play with drugs long enough, they always win. Doesn't matter who you are. 100% of the time, they always win. I've never did a street drug in my entire life, ever. And I can tell you that after having surgery, I knew my doctor, and whether it's pharmaceutical or street, they always win. Doesn't matter.
One of Malehya's family members hurled an accusation that Daniel had something to do with the children's disappearance. And this stemmed from discussion about meth use in the home. Daniel told me about the fight on the first day I met him. And I also learned that his mother, Janie McKenzie, kicked Malehya's family members off the property. After that point, at a briefing, a police update that Daniel and Malehya attended together, Malehya left the briefing in tears. And when Daniel tried to speak to her alone, her mother would not let him. And that there was also an altercation there that resulted in Malehya leaving with her mother.
Oh, damn.
Cutting off contact with Daniel and the...
Oh, damn. Looky here. Well, Mr. Durwood singing like a canary, it appears. Thank you for sending me that email. I guess this was this Charmaine's channel? Mr. Durwood, did you know that Daniel confessed to Brad that he was driving around all night? And who was he with? Question mark. Oh, Daniel. Shannon's channel. Okay, this was Shannon's channel. Gotcha. Okay. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Huh. You know something? I do believe Durwood on this. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I believe him on this. Because remember when the documents came out and we learned that the neighbor did tell very early on that Daniel's car was going in and out there a little after midnight until about 5:30 in the morning. After that came out and there was a big fuss made about it, from what I understand, the RCMP went back and spoke with Brad and all of them. And this is interesting because if Daniel then confessed to Brad, I'm sure the RCMP wants to know about that. It's one thing for Daniel, or sorry, the neighbor, to not only. Okay, I need to hold on. Let me fix my other live for a little bit later. Thank you for that. Let's see here. Okay. It's not only one thing for one neighbor to hear Daniel's car. It's not only another thing for two neighbors, right? Two neighbors to hear that. Then you have Daniel, which I caught, saying, and neither one of them knew this. If they didn't know this, rather, there was no way for them to know this unless they saw it or heard it. Daniel says the exact route that he took, confirming exactly what Wong and the other neighbor saw and heard that night. Then you have Daniel messing up in this interview. I took the blue or the black, right? And he is, again, giving way too much detail, right? Giving way too much detail. So it's a very, very interesting. Haley described a black loud car of Chase's they were using to search that first day. Yes, and I believe Daniel gave it to his buddy. Daniel says in one of the interviews that I'm sorry, I'm reading something. I think Daniel in one of the interviews. What was I going to say? Sorry, I was reading something. Oh, not it was in the documents. Daniel said he went to go pick up 2 of his buddies that day. You don't need to pick up your buddies. You're the one that needs them. They come to you. What were you doing, Daniel? I do believe Durwood on this. I think Durwood is seeing some of the light now. Some of the light now. I think he realized that he was used himself by Daniel and Janie and all of them. Might be wrong. I think I know Brad a lot better than you do, Sonny. I don't know about that. I don't know and have never met V. Mallory, but you would probably say I do. People insert themselves because they care, maybe. I don't know. I still say that it's very weird how Durwood inserted himself to the level that he did. And in my opinion, if he inserted himself the level that he did, it might be because he's trying to protect his kids. No, Allison. Just remember you were asking on a previous live about bathwater. Apparently, it was said that M on a text message to someone that she ran a bath for the kids but didn't give them one. See, I don't know. I did hear someone talk about bathwater, but I don't know anything. I would have to see it. I haven't seen a text message about bathwater. I think it was someone who might have seen a text message about it, but I've never heard Janie had keys, different church girls. I don't know what the keys are talking about there. Okay. Salty, do you know who owns the church and who lives in the basement? Do you know that Daniel? Okay, I read that one. I think I know Brad a lot better than you do. Okay, get off. Are these the same thing? Same thing, pretty much. But this one's very interesting to me. Did you know that Daniel confessed to Brad that he was driving around all night and who he was with? Now, again, we have all of these things that points that something happened that night. Remember, Daniel says he can't remember that night because it was an ordinary night, right? Bullshit. It was not an ordinary night. It was absolutely anything but ordinary. We have the neighbors saying what they heard or saw. Daniel telling us, Daniel slipping countless times. He can't remember. Can't remember if the kids were in bed or not in bed, all of this. But then he supposedly passes a polygraph test. He either is, in my opinion, psychotic and has no conscience whatsoever, or they had no idea how to give him a polygraph, or he was on rugs or something. Who was he with? That's a good question. What was it, Brandy? It was sent. I know, Richui, and let me tell you something. I'm not big fans of them, to be quite honest with you. But if they say it, if they say there's a lot of red flags, that means there's a truckload. There's a fucking truckload if they say it. Right. So that's very interesting. Okay. Um, 1 second. I'm getting a text message. Hmm. Sorry, a local Nova Scotian was messaging me on something very interesting. Okay. I remember a news interview with DM in the early stages. Daniel said he was drifting in and out of sleep on the couch. I don't remember that. Just an assumption, but most couches are in the living room. I cannot find the interview on YouTube, but I distinctly recall in the fact that Daniel and Malehya were feeding the baby. If there were only feeding her with I don't remember the couch thing, but I do remember the feeding the baby part in the very, very, very beginning. Yes. Somewhere, but I don't remember the couch part or anything like that. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. I've got this picture. Oh yeah. Yep. Someone just sent me this. This is Daniel in, I guess, his wading boots and stuff like that. This was, it says July 12th. I was like, I think a few years older. This was probably in the beginning of his mathematics career. Something like that. I still think that there is something to do with waterfalls. That I believe the kids are close to water. I don't believe they're in water. The wife, Justin, Daniel most definitely did not talk to my husband. Ooh, is this Brad's wife? Is this Brad's wife? Interesting. Okay. Okay, let's go back here then. So why is Durwood lying? Durwood, get your ass in here. Go under a different screen name. You're blocked on both here, but go under a different one. I know you got him. Durwood, calling the bigot. Get in here, Durwood. Now that's just very interesting. Thank you for telling us. Hmm. Let me find her. I'm trying to find her screen name. It's where was her screen? Wife something, wasn't it? Boss man's wife in comment. So we need to know, Durwood, why are you telling this? Durwood, who's lying and who's are the idiots now? This is interesting because, I mean, this is the fucked up thing. This is what's really getting me pissed off about it now, is because why the fuck is anyone lying on a 4 and a 6-year-old, Durwood? Or are you just being with whatever you say? Like, do you just not care? Just place the information out willy-nilly? And you are making it seem, I mean, you do say, this is interesting because I just thought of this as well. What's Brad's wife's name? Does anyone know in here? I apologize, ma'am. I don't know your name. Daniel says, I think I know Brad a lot better than you do, Sonny. Well, apparently you fucking don't, Durwood. I agree, Robini. Mary, thank you. And he was confronted. This out, and she was confronted, Brad, and Brad said it's not true. Yeah, well, that's she's in here right now saying it. Well, what do you mean wrong, Durwood? This is, you think Daniel, that's a good point. Very good point. You think Daniel would have the balls to come up to Brad after shooting off about him? That's a good point. Very good point, the wife. Yeah. He's a pussy. Daniel's the biggest pussy that God ever stretched a piece of skin over. Mm-hmm. How does Patty speak to Durwood? A lot, but Durwood hasn't seen Daniel in 2 years. Oh, Durwood's seen Daniel. Yeah. So, again, now Durwood, you are just the most untruthful bigot that I have ever seen next to Daniel. He's watching. He's in here. I assure you, he is in here. I've got him blocked on 2 of his screen names. But he's got more. He can come in here. Call in, Durwood. You know my number, 307-228-4906. Call in. Let's get it hashed out, Mr. Sister. Right, the wife. I agree with your statement. Yeah. I wonder, I have a feeling that was him in chat earlier being disgusting. Probably. I think it was. It was someone of Daniel's clan. It was someone of Daniel's clan. I knew that. That's the reason I said that. That's the reason I knew it was. they don't have the balls to actually, they want to talk about my balls. They don't have the balls. Which is kind of weird, you know. You're welcome to call in, Daniel. Durwood. There it is. There's the number on the screen. He knows he's lying again. So does anyone know the context of Shannon's live earlier? Does anyone know like the context why? Hold on, let me text somebody. 1 second. I can just text them. 1 second. 1 second. Can y'all come in my live now? They're going to come in here in just a second. Brad's in the chat. I want to know, like, what the context, why was Durwood saying this? What's Brad's screen name, guys? Oh, I know. Let me tell you something. I have always 100% believed the neighbors. 1 billion % since day one. Boss man. Okay. And like I said, whenever the neighbors spoke to the RCMP on day 1, he said, I'm not giving, I don't really want to give a statement or anything, but I'll talk to you. And he told them exactly what they heard or saw. And then Daniel comes out later and says the precise thing that the neighbors witnessed Daniel driving. Except Daniel says it was during the daytime. No. It was after midnight. Is Durwood Daniel's dad? Wouldn't surprise. No, he's not. He's not. And you got to understand, like, how uncomfortable, regardless, that would be. You've got the clan all around you, his family, right? And I don't know if you've ever, had someone in your house where it was really uncomfortable, or in your neighborhood, your neighbor, you wouldn't get along with your neighbor or something like that. But it's weird, right? It's weird whenever that happens. And all the neighbors trying to do is just tell the truth on what they witnessed that night, which should be what Daniel and Malehya and Junkyard Janie should want. The narrative that DM shifts and changes is very telling. In the info, he adds and omits, there are big clues. Well, yeah, he says this all the time. I mean, think about this. He says the kid, or Jack and Lily, aren't wearing what we think what did he say? Jack and Lily aren't wearing what we think, or what we told that they were wearing. And I'll just leave it at that. There's more to this story than what meets the eye. So if you know, Daniel, what the fuck the kids are wearing, why are you not telling the RCMP to change that? Because nobody, and I mean no case of someone missing, will they not put out what they were last wearing? Because we're looking for them and we need to know what they were last fucking wearing. Right? Okay. Okay. Hey, Melissa. What was the Brad's in here and Brad's wife? Someone sent me this email, and I guess this was in Shannon's chat. Do we have any idea why Mr. Dirtwood O'Grady 666 Devil says this, and what was the context of it? Do you know that Daniel confessed to Brad that he was driving around all night, and who was he with? And Brad and his wife said that is absolutely not true. Yes, that's exactly right. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. But do we know why Durwood is saying this? Durwood and Daniel are just pissy because Brad has done more help. Hell yes, they have. Hell yes, they have. They've even been blamed that they might have done something to Jack and Lily. I mean, that is ridiculous to think when you've got a stepdad who's lying out his ass and you got a mother, I use that term loosely, who doesn't do shit to throw shade and deflect. Durwood, you are the biggest piece of shit. You really are lying about a 4 and a 6-year-old's case intentionally, knowing that this never happened. You bigoted piece of garbage. There we go. He's lying. No context. There we go. There we go. Shame on you. If we thought you changed, well, shame on us. Shame on us. A leopard never changed their spots. And that's the question. To throw shade and deflect, but what is he gaining from it? I believe perhaps he's trying to protect maybe one of his kids. Holy hell, it's 11:30 and you are up? Girl, are you okay? Damn. What's done in the dark will come to the light, just a matter of time. Absolutely. He thinks, in my opinion, he's trying to protect DM. And that's the thing, right? He Daniel and his kiddos are very close, right? They're close. They go over to each other's houses. I'm sure they smoke the meth together and all of that. And it just makes you wonder. It just makes you wonder. I cannot get that story out of my head about Durwood in the very beginning saying he hadn't seen Daniel in years. and him and two people come to, I guess, his place, or he was like working out in the barn or something. Justin Dickwood has a new theory. Did you hear it? Oh God. No. The whole crew came when Justin sent up the bats. I did. I sent the messenger. I was like, get the fuck in here. I feel like a little ant or something. And I put up like my antennas, like, call, motherfucker. Yeah, if you can, American Justice, yeah. Don't forget it's Bossman. It's effing ridiculous. Okay. It's crazy. It's just crazy. I would not be surprised that Durwood doesn't find some charges eventually. Of course, Tina, because this is the thing. Again, people who want Jack and Lily found speak the truth, right? Who is not speaking the truth right now? Who's not speaking the truth? Well, obviously Dickwood, obviously Daniel. Oh, yeah. Yep. I think I might have had these. And obviously Junkyard Janie. What's this? Okay. Look at this. Can I ask what you think Kent knows so much? Do you tell him, or how does he know so much, as you said? Remember, this is Durwood O. Gaby. I'm going to call him a Gaby because he is a bigot. So, there we go. Okay. Now, 1 second. Someone send me a picture of Durwood. I'm going to do it to him too. Durwood has put his big ass nose through enough. Okay, so this is what it says. Oh, let me get this bitch off the channel here. One more second. Actually, look at this. This, do I not have it up anymore? I don't have Janie's legs up anymore coming out of the trailer. This is an actual picture of Janie coming out of her trailer of the morning, getting ready to feed the chickens. This is a picture of Janie in her house coat coming out to feed the chickens. And probably Daniel's in the chicken coop too. He probably dropped a rock in the chicken coop and the chicken's about to eat it. He pulls it out of the chicken's gizzard. Give me that rock, mother chicken. Hey, a math head, listen, they can serve every rock that they can. Let me tell you something. All you have to do is tell Daniel one thing. Daniel, there's 8 pounds of mathematics out in the woods. You want to talk about turning over every rock, and I don't mean the ones he smokes. He will turn over every rock. Literally. Daniel, what are you doing, darling? Mama, they said that there was 8 pounds of mathematics out here. This is the war on rugs. Durwood says, we have shared info for over 6 months, back when he was on with Sonny and Charmaine. I was the only one saying the children weren't in the woods, weren't unalived, he put MURDRED, or abducted by strangers. You are a sack of lies, Durwood. Sack of lies. Sonny and Charmaine called me a liar. And you know what? Let's give it up for Sonny and Charmaine. I believe I was the first to call you a liar, if I do say so myself. But anyway, they are absolutely right. Sonny and Charmaine said, I, MURDER, or abducted. Oh, sorry. Said I must be involved because I knew too much. And I said I had no reason to, quote, inject myself, end quote, into the case other than protecting Daniel Martell for some reason. Really? Really? Well, why are you trying to protect the Martell? Could it be? Might it be? You're trying to protect what's yours, kiddos, that Daniel is so close with?
RCMP, open up.
Would that be the reason? I told them all about Patty asking me to help, and that it was family. I told them how Daniel came to me to tell me that he thought Cindy was setting him up. So as I looked into it, I believe Daniel was not guilty of MURDER, but he and Malehya are guilty of some terrible acts. And their rug use attracted some very dangerous people around the children. I'm sure Malehya relatives who happen to be native intervened with Malehya. Intervened with Malehya cooperation and removed Jack and Lily from Lansdowne. Let me be clear. I believe Malehya's relatives intervened and saved Jack and Lily's lives. You're nuts. I believe the RCMP have known this very early on. Kent started to believe what I was saying, and the two of us found many indications that's what is going on. Kent is great on the internet. I'm not. We work together, and he knows a lot. You are the dumbest, dumb dumb as fuck if you think that some native group is harboring two of the most high profile children cases in Canadian history. Number one. Number two, why would they hide them? There was no need to hide them at all. At all. Day one, Malehya, Daniel, any of them could have said, oh, no, they're down the street. The kids are down the street. There's nothing. Daniel has lied from jump. Wishing and hoping that Jack and Lily are being kept away somewhere with no evidence at all, not even a fraction of that. When you have a stepfather out here that has changed his story based upon who he's in front of, and you have a mother doing shit, look at history. Look at missing children crime. Look at it. Nothing new is under the sun. It all repeats itself, just in different versions. You're dumb as hell if you think that. You just are. I agree the kids are not in the woods. There is just no way that they are, in my opinion. See, I don't like the term that they're not in the woods. Yes, tall tree. They're in the woods. They're just not in the woods that they have searched. Right? They're just not in the woods that they searched. Right? Right. I got you. Yeah. They didn't wander off. Not a fucking chance. I also do not think they were abducted by strangers. I cannot say I agree or not unalive, though. I kind of get why you spoke out. They are family. I think it is more about what you said and how you spoke out that has bugged people. I think that you are telling the truth about Patty asking you to help. I do not think Cindy liked Daniel at all. I agree with that. But there was a time that you said if Daniel is involved, that the kids would not be alive. Yes, Durwood did say that. And the thing about Durwood is he's changed his story as much as Daniel. I agree that rugs all around the kids is very dangerous for many reasons. Can I share our conversation? Just the last part of what you sent. Yes. And you can add that Brad Wong is telling the truth, in my opinion. There you have it, folks. I also might as well tell you I'm done with it all. The RCMP are the only ones who can finish this, and I'm tired of dealing with liars and truth twisters for subs and views. Thank you. Anything you find, give it to the cops. And then, Kent, please give it to the cops. Don't give it to anybody. Yeah, just give it to the cops. Durwood is not used to true crime or anything. Listen, If it was easy, Jerwood thought he was going to sashay up in here and, came on the channel and said, I'm 90% sure I know where they're at, but there's this 10 little more percent that if I would have talked to Malehya, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. Crime happens quickly, right? What people do happens quickly. Putting the pieces together. Yeah, ironclad, he said. Yeah. But putting it together is a whole different ballgame. So I think Kent was duped himself. He took the shit bus. He really did. He took the shit bus and got squandered in believing. Listen, and this is what I say. It's so easy for people who like hasn't seen this kind of thing time and over and over and over again. If there is someone lying, if there is a parent, a caregiver, a step parent, a guardian, whoever was in the house, if they are lying, giving you inconsistent stories, you need to look no further. That's just it. Why do you think they're looked at first? Because off the bat, before you even look at anyone else in crime, over 96% of the time, it is someone in the house. Someone in the house. Over 96% of the fucking time. People who don't know you, they don't usually, unless they're like a serial unaliver or a non-familiar stranger abduction, which is extremely rare. We have 330 million people in the United States, and there's like maybe 10, 15 max a year out of all of the abductions. It is minuscule. Minuscule. And I understand people get duped all the time. All the time. Because they talk to these people. They develop a relationship with them. It's kind of like you're doing, like a mating dance, like a bird would do or something like that. And then, it's like these people, Daniel or whoever, in this case, Daniel, they're showing you the best side of them, right? But we don't know Daniel before Jack and Lily, right? We don't know him before Jack and Lily. And these people get close to Daniel, and this happens in every case. Every case. Creators will get close to him. Subs will even, some subs will reach out to him and they'll get close to him. And they only show you their good side. Right? That's all they want you to see. And they think, Daniel could never do that. I would swear my life on it. Swear my life on it. Daniel could never. Or this person could never. I don't see him doing that. Anyone is capable of unaliving someone. Anyone. You, me, all of us in the right circumstances. Especially someone who is giving inconsistent stories about their missing loved one, especially someone that's on the most violent type of rug that causes violence, especially children with 4 and 6 years old that has multiple black eyes and bruises, and the teachers are concerned and they're not showing up with the right clothing on. And when they do show up, their clothing is filthy. Right? Especially when the man's own children said that they saw Jack and Lily being abused. And that comes from Daniel's text, by the way. Especially when you hear what his exes have to say. Especially when you see the text messages of Daniel saying that he wants to violently R someone that he says he cares about and loves. And if she says no, he's going to do it harder. I mean, use half a percentage of your brain. In all of these cases, you're going to see almost always at least one, always one, usually at least two, but always one. CPS, multiple CPS, DV, right? And that goes for everyone in the house, whether that's child, DV, other DV, all of that. Rugs. You see it every time, particularly when there is a step parent or a mother or father's boyfriend or girlfriend. Most step parents are amazing, but overwhelmingly, the percentage of step parents abusing other children that are not biologically theirs is astronomical. It's very disappointing. You've got a stepfather who says he gives a damn. He cares about Jack and Lily. He's the only one that cares about Jack and Lily, right? He's the only one doing anything. He's the only one out here actively lying to date. Justin, did you hear about anything about DM being questioned again last week? Was said in this chat. I'll have to get back to you on that. That's right. He doesn't give two fucks. The only thing this mother chicken gives a fuck about is me, myself, and I. That's it. And the only one this one gives a fuck about is mainly her dog, but herself. And she's lying for her little Danny, because there's not a doubt in my mind. If Brad and them can hear that fucking car, so can her and her dog. I bet you Janie's probably not had a happy day since May 2nd, 2025. And that's because of what she's got held up in her heart. Dolores, thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. Thank you, baby. Thank you for your support. Because I think if Jack and Lily were... Never mind. Is whoever... No, I have a feeling that Tall Tree is Durwood. Or it's one of Daniel's people. It's so obvious. So obvious. Now, one second. Thank you for that. Oh God, quit. Second. Okay. All right, y'all. Durwood, stop lying. Tell the truth. It's that simple. Stop fucking lying. New name to me. I think it is. It is. I mean, Daniel, he fucking told on himself. Look at, he tells on himself when he goes, I don't, volunteers the information up. I don't talk. I don't go under any chat rooms except my own. And guess what? He exposed himself that, yeah, you do. Probably. Mine too, Tina. Mine too, baby. Guys, thank you all so much for joining me. I do appreciate you. Daniel, Malehya, Durwood, whoever knows Janie. You might be in Little Pictou County, but I can tell you there's a lot of us inside Pictou County, outside of Pictou County, inside the county, inside Nova Scotia, inside Canada, outside Canada, and way beyond that are never going to stop until Jack and Lily are found. And the shit that, in my opinion, the mother allowed and probably participated herself in, and especially the stepfather, of giving a 4 and a 6-year-old fucking bruises all the time, are not going to stop. I can assure you that. It's been nearly 5 years on Summer Wells. I talk about her weekly still. Okay? They were wronged so bad in their short, very fucking short 4 and 6 years that they were on the planet. And it was hard as hell for both of them, especially for the last 3 of you, Malehya, getting around that asshole and making another baby with him and allowing him to hit your kids and all that shit. Mod, just take care of that person. Kids were absolutely wronged. Can't imagine having a mother who lets some man beat you to where you have to go to school frequently as a preschooler and a kindergartner with bruises and dirty fucking clothes and no fucking code at times. Not being checked on through the night. Any of that shit. Bless little Jack and Lily, and I pray to the good Lord that God send them to the highest level of heaven and give them as much comfort as there is in heaven. I pray, because they deserve that. And you too need to repent and ask not only Jack and Lily for forgiveness and God, but your community, and tell the fucking truth, because you know that those babies are laying somewhere right now. And the best thing you could do is pick up the phone, Janie, and tell them what the fuck you know. Let your heart be free. Love you guys. Justice for Jack and Lily. Good night. God bless.